Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Blossoming Chronicle podcast. This is your host Chandni Dhawan, and I trust everyone is having just an amazing week. So, today, finally, I've managed to get someone really eloquent and impactful on the podcast. Finally, after a long time, because I haven't done the guest episodes in a while. So, this one for sure will be refreshing. But before we move on to the introduction for our guest for today, I have a teeny tiny announcement for everyone, which is probably a surprise. And from now on, we won't be having a 1 hour conversation, 1.5 hour conversation in the guest episodes. Rather, we'll restrict the episodes to 20 minutes and under, and we will just be focusing on the expertise and the experiences that our guest will be bringing. Because, come on, guys, it's 2022, and all of us have a short attention span, including me. So, within 20 minutes, the episode will be value packed, power packed, and I will be leaving the social media profiles such as LinkedIn and Instagram in the show notes of the guest, and you can check it out after listening to the podcast. So, without further ado, let's introduce our guest for today. So, this guy is a really dear friend of mine. We met on LinkedIn and we are kind of like stress busters for each other, even though this information has just come to light. And I've been wanting to have him on the podcast for a while now, but somehow planets just didn't align. And he's one of those friends of mine who does not put up with my crap, and he challenges my thought process. So, welcome to the show, Lokesh Jain. Hey man, what's up?
Hi, Chandni. It's been going great over here. What about you?
I'm doing great. Finally, you've managed to take out some time for me, for your friend.
I'm so sorry to keep you waiting for so long, but it's been quite a hectic schedule we have these days. Both of us were probably. That's why it was a little, uneasy for us to get to come to a common ground when it comes to time.
Was because you have a lot of, stuff to manage in life. Okay. Even though we are the same age, but you have more stuff to manage, like people. So, Lokesh, today I want to talk to you a little bit about public speaking and communication, which you're obviously really great at. Guys, he's won the best speaker award at multiple literary fests. He's won the best delegate awards at different youth conclaves. So trust me, he really has experience in public speaking. So are you pumped to answer some questions about public speaking?
So kind of you, Chandni, to introduce me in such a very generous manner and more like modest manner. Yeah, I'm really pumped up to take on the questions which you are going to fire right after now.
So the first question for you is, there are many reasons why people go for public speaking, and one of the reason is to kind of get the admiration that a public speaker gets. But according to me, that is probably the wrong reason to go for public speaking, because you should like actually go and have an experience worth talking about rather than directly going for public speaking. So firstly, what according to you are the other wrong reasons that people go for public speaking?
A lot of wrong reasons, but they are not completely wrong, I would say. It's because it's a human behavior and human nature. Some of them include going so that you get the admiration, as you just mentioned, or to look a lot cool among your peer groups, so that you can maybe try to show some of your panache on the stage. And these days they also want to record a lot of videos so that they can post it on LinkedIn, Instagram, get those photos, to get those likes. However, I'm not saying they are completely wrong, but they are a little superficial in nature.
Okay. And what are the correct reasons?
Well, correct reasons is that you really want to express yourself on the stage, and not just on the stage, but in just front of a few people. You really want to convey your ideas, add value to their lives by enlightening them what you think and what's your take and various insights on various things. Plus, one of the correct reason that I found for myself, that it gives me a rush of blood whenever I am on the stage or speak to a group of people. When I involve them through my storyboarding and storytelling styles, and how they are engaged, and I'm able to grab their attention. Because as somebody rightly said, and this is what I read on LinkedIn a few days back, that the next real estate would be the kind of how much attention you can grab, or the space you can take in somebody's mind.
Okay, very nicely put. Yeah, I think that's like one of the best reasons you can go for it. And in fact, I am also working on public speaking, and it's not just about public speaking, it's about how you just put yourself forward daily. I think how you sell yourself daily to your parents, to your friends, to everyone around you. So I think it's all about that. Okay, very nicely put.
Absolutely.
So, question number two is do you feel imposter syndrome as a public speaker?
Well, not exactly the imposter syndrome. I used to feel it previously, but from the last 2 years, I don't feel that I'm being uncomfortable, or how people are going to judge me. I do feel a positive nervousness. Whenever I go onto any stage or talk to a group of people, and that I think that is a good thing, which keeps you very focused and attentive. And mostly people feel very some this sort of syndrome or like fear of speaking, because first is that they are very mindful of the fact what the people will think about themselves and what they are going to speak and how they are wish to express. And second is that I think people are a little afraid to be more vulnerable. So if you are as much vulnerable as you can be, the less you will have that this kind of syndrome, and less you will fear going forward before a crowd.
Okay, so you've always been vulnerable since the beginning?
Well, being vulnerable is not a destination; it's a journey. So I've just been increased my vulnerability level from day after day. So I now I can it's much more than what it was last year. Last year it was much more than it was what it was a couple of years back. So yeah, you just have to complete every day work on it, and keep moving forward.
Okay. 10 on 10. How important do you think is it to kind of gauge your audience before you go onto the stage in terms of public speaking?
Well, in the world of public speaking, your audience is your king, king, queen, each and everything. So, in order to gauge your audience, of course, you should have a great body language, which is very assertive, confident, and does not have a lot of self-conscious. And yeah, that you don't show on the stage that you are being very self-centered and not caring about them. You have to be a little sensitive towards your audience as well, and understand their needs. If you have to gauge their attention, understand on what are the things that they are comfortable with, how they are reacting on your various parts of your speech, as well as you're introducing some sort of humor, so that you can get very comfortable initially. It's one of the very topmost advisable tip that various speakers can give.
Okay. Yes, I guess humor is something which can be like really helpful when it comes to initially winning the trust of your audience, because like the initial five, I'd say like 2 to 3 minutes are the best to gain like someone's attention. So yeah, humor is the best way, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. It sets you in. It actually makes the atmosphere very comfortable, and then the audience is much more attentive towards your side. Plus, just in case you really want to understand your audience and like see what I should really do, then which can make them feel wow. Then just go into the crowd once, sit over there, and observe yourself. Which are the things that you really like, which makes you interesting, and when do you feel boredom? So you will have a lot of insights and analysis by yourself, which you can implement when you are on the stage next time.
I never thought of it that way. Nice. I'll try incorporating that. Okay. What was that one event, moment of feeling or experience where you felt really confident as a public speaker and you had like a better and a more clear narrative of what public speaking actually is?
Anecdote I would like to talk about. So it was one of my first debating competition when I was in second year at Delhi Technological University. And I still remembered I qualified the first two stages, which was like group discussion and extempore. And third stage was a time for like a complete parliamentary debate style competition, which was like 5-7 minutes of speech. And I still remember that I had those pieces of paper where I have written down my speech and went on the stage. I started reading that out, because I just wanted to, deliver what I have written last night. And just I did not realize that was something which my friends told me after, when I went back to my seats, that the person, one of the person who was judging that competition, he just came behind me to see what I was doing, like what I had on the podium that I'm reading, and I did not even realize that how it was happening. So
Okay.
and that day I just promised myself that I'm never ever going to pick up a piece of paper while I would be speaking. So
Okay.
till so now it's not that I just don't carry a piece of paper, but I just don't write more than like 5-6 words that are the pointers or the structure that I have to keep while and while speaking. But then again, when I went to the next competition, I never had this piece of paper. I spoke, whatever came to my mind. Basically, I spoke my truth, and whatever I feel like, and that's how
Okay.
I in the very next competition I was able to win the best speaker award.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
So
Thank you for
yes.
being honest. Nice.
And when I tried, started public speaking, so I also used to get very nervous, but then I realized that you just need to be very bashram, and you just need to be very carefree when
Yeah.
you go in front of them. It doesn't matter if you are on the stage or not, even if you are in a group of like 4 people. If you
Yeah.
really want to gauge their attention and understand and communicate in a very effective manner, so you just need to be bold. However, you should be also be respectful of others, which is also a
Yeah.
very key ingredient or the key skill in the public speaking, that you are listening to them, you observe them, and you are respectful to their the black, white, and gray areas. It's more than the content, your delivery. It's more about speaking your own truth, what you really feel and believe into.
Like it's not just about the technicalities. It's also about, what you're feeling from inside and just like putting it out vulnerably. What is more important, content or delivery?
Just it will be like choosing between what is more important, like your hands or legs. So content is not cannot have that impact until
Hmm.
unless you deliver it in a very awesome manner. And your delivery just cannot save you. It may be able to save you in front of maybe a noob crowd, but it cannot save you at each and every in front of every sort of crowd if your content is not at the right place. So of course you need to build that quality content, deliver it effectively. And I would like to also introduce one more thing. So even your content does not have, and content and delivery, it will not have that impact, that same impact that you are trying to have, until unless you set the context very right. So
Yeah.
and because content is like nothing without the right context. So
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, right context with the right content and effective delivery. That's what makes your speech is your way of communication very effective.
It's not just the sexy charisma that helps you deliver an amazing speech. It is also the unsexy, like I'd say, the consistency with your content and the context you're putting
Yeah,
it
it's a
into.
homework that you
Yeah.
do like before that.
Yeah. Okay. Nicely put. How can someone be better prepared to speak off the cuff?
Going to speak off the cuff, or like in the layman's language, as you say, on the spot, in the form
Yeah.
of an extempore. It can bumping into a random strangers, or going into or having going to a party with your office colleagues. So you must have like a very clear structured in your brain before you speak. So speaking is it can become very sham until unless it is delivered in a very structured manner. More importantly, being a good learner is very important to know about what is happening all around you, so that you have a lot of organic insights, which also comes with talking from a lot with a lot of people coming from various backgrounds, and you engage in those conversations, and that is how you have those very organic insights when you speak next time. And knowledge breaks the spell of ignorance, as they say. So if you will have more and more content and more insights, you would be able to stand yourself apart, and you won't feel that it's a very difficult task to speak spontaneously.
How does someone address a hostile group?
One of the things that people that can definitely help is understanding actually like why that group is hostile to you. Let's say you enter into an auditorium, you go into that stage and addressing students, let's say, and you're going to talk on a very high intellectual topic, but of course they are not interested in your bullshit and the kind of jargons and the flowery language that you are going to use it. So the best way is to just to talk to them, understand what they want, and then go and have show some sort of empathy and compassion instead of being instead of hatred, rudeness, or anger. and just try to be have a more of a friendly gesture so that they feel comfortable with you. They feel you that you are just one of them. Use a lot of stories and anecdotes in a very lucid manner so that you are able then so that you would be able to deliver and say a lot of complex things in a very simple manner. And I think that's the way they would be able to connect. And having a lot of stories and art of storytelling would really help in those situations.
Now, let's say that someone's listening to this episode. What is that one thing that they should take away from today's episode?
We want you to take away is that it's not mandatory that you need to be a good speaker, or rather I would say good communicator. But if you would be, of course you can be a success without being the one. But if you would be if you would be a good speaker and a good communicator, then you will surely going to have a lot of unfair advantage wherever you will go, and you would be able to project yourself very highly as compared to your peers, even if you guys have like same caliber, same potential, and same competent.
Okay. So thank you so much, man, today. Thank you so much for doing this. This really means a lot. And for whosoever who's listening to this, I really, really appreciate it. Do check out Lokesh's LinkedIn profile, which I'll be leaving in the show notes. And you can also connect with him for a chat, maybe. He's very good at talking. So you can probably call him up also. And yeah, so that's it for today. And if you derived just one nugget of value out of this episode today, share it with just one person who wants to be a public speaker, or who just wants to be a good communicator, or just one friend who needs to hear whatever we talked about in this episode. And till the next time, keep blossoming, keep growing. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.